Let's talk about Asian women today. Recently, someone I know mentioned that Asian women are a lot more for hypergamy than other women from different areas of the world. A hypergamous Asian woman means that she thoughtfully selects a partner who will elevate her social and financial status. Given that they are now employed in higher-paying occupations, pursuing Chinese American men and Indian men would make more sense in the scenario of racial hypergamy. But based on my findings, they continue to only date Caucasian males, and I've never witnessed an attractive white male dating an Asian woman. They consistently tend to place Caucasians at the bottom of the population in terms of appearance. The fact that all the white guys dating Asian women I've observed in the United States are practically as poor as the Black and Latino men in the area is even stranger. There are several factors involved in why Asian women like Caucasian guys. I think social standing is the first and most crucial factor. Her offspring have a higher chance of being accepted by the white community if they marry and have kids with such a man. Because of those offspring, the Asian woman is also accepted. Asian women are engaged in positive eugenics as well. In a way, they are reproducing with males who they believe to have advantageous genetic characteristics. They perceive Caucasian males favorably in this situation and possibly perceive them as belonging to a better socioeconomic class. After all, depending on your perspective, it was mostly white Europeans who ruthlessly conquered the continents. In Western society, Caucasian men are universally vilified, yet in this situation, Asian women seem to worship Caucasian men at the same time, and I am aware of how odd the circumstances are. As I briefly said before, marrying and having children with such guys elevates Asian women's status and gives her and her children access to new society today, a whole world of new possibilities. White guys are treated similarly in other societies. These include Latino women as well as, to a lesser extent, Black women. And in locations like Brazil and other South American nations, where people frequently seem to have higher social worth based on complexion, where the greatest instances of this sort of status based on complexion may be observed in every social strata. Most white men who have children with women of different races don't normally worry about the ancestry of their children, and they shouldn't, since their mixed offspring will still have access to meeting individuals of lighter complexions, and they are far more likely to be more socially accepted by larger numbers of people. Asian women in particular place a great priority on social status, as do women in general. Asian women prioritize finding a partner who can bear them children above finding poor, ugly white males. That will once again raise that social rank for them, but if you're a successful, attractive white man, the Asian women will have struck a gold mine. I know a couple tall, accomplished white guys who would gorgeous, well-off Asian ladies. The one man runs a profitable business as a military contractor, and the other man works as an oil drilling company's underwater diver. Both earn excellent wages, have backgrounds in engineering and the military, and are frequently physically fit people. They are both married tall, and they run for enjoyment every day. Asian women that are tall and slim, come from rich families, have excellent occupations, and are incredibly gorgeous to look at. But they would be significantly more demanding than their current spouses if they had chosen to pair off with Caucasian women who possess traits comparable to those of their Asian wives. Furthermore, their interactions with these Asian women are far from ideal. However, they have remained together for several decades because they are continually enhancing their family's standard of living. Their marriages are relatively steady since their wives get wealthier financially every year. But I frequently imagine what could occur if business were slow for a while. Positive emotions are 3 times more potent in humans than negative ones. The drawback is that your mind may overreact if you experience anything even tangentially unfavorable if you've spent your entire life having good experiences. But in any case, I believe that one of the key reasons why Asian women date and marry white men is status. But please don't tell an Asian woman that's why she's acting that way. Women exaggerate their morality. They dislike it if men find out their secrets. This is because for them, their ability to manipulate you is the real deal that gives them strength to have their way in any relationship. Women are more susceptible to manipulation and deceit than males. Most of the time, it comes naturally. It's not like women care whether guys know their secrets in either situation. Above all things, women are afraid of facing and realizing how dishonest and manipulative they are. Every time a woman is pushed, coerced, or forced to admit her own predatory, parasitic, and self-serving character, she will react like a trapped animal and pose a serious threat to both women and everyone. I think that most Asian women are conscious of attempting to elevate both their own status and the status of their future children. Furthermore, if we let them know about this concept, it can push them into having an existential crisis. But I don't believe that something wrong with us is causing women to have an existential crisis. Men have had an existential crisis as a result of feminism, Therefore, it is only right that we do the same for women. I believe it's time for us to repay feminism's favor once more by making it risky and unpopular to seek a relationship and a family. I believe that a woman should always be able to see her true nature. Men have been trained to see monsters peering back at them from behind the mirror, while women have been trained to see divas and goddesses, and that has to change, not be sugar-coated. Returning to the subject of multiracial babies, I believe that mixed children of such marriages have numerous benefits over children who are only one race. The biggest action movie actors in history who were of mixed European and Asian origin is a fantastic example of this belief. Although Bruce Lee was Chinese, he also had German ancestry. Additionally, Steven Seagal has some Mongolian heritage. But until today, I had only seen him on the television, and it wasn't until I learned about his lineage that it became obvious. Similarly, I had no idea that Keanu Reeves is partially Chinese, but now that I know this, I can see it in his facial features. But before then, I was unsure of the origins of any of these men. I think that well-known public figures with lighter complexion appealed to a wider range of individuals from many different cultures. People from a variety of backgrounds can directly attribute their own genetic origin to them. Therefore, it only makes it natural that women would desire their offspring to possess similar traits. Additionally, children of mixed races may exhibit more seductive traits than kids with clear genetic backgrounds. Jessica Alba is another young woman of mixed ancestry who may appear either Latina or Caucasian. She portrays herself as whatever the audience expects her children to be in many of the cinematic roles in which she appears. More precisely, she plays herself as whatever background the audience expects from her boys, who provide their moms a better shot at a happy existence in the future. Asian women are thereby indirectly protecting their own interests by enhancing the attractiveness of their kids to potential foreign partners. Some Caucasian guys have consciously realized this. This has been done by professionals like Jim Rogers, an investor I follow on a daily basis. He frequently claims that Asia is the region of the globe where the future will be discovered. He met his young wife there. They now reside in Singapore, and they have 2 mixed-race kids. He infuses 2 cultures into his daughters by teaching them both Mandarin and English. And when he passes on his money in the future, hypergamy will likely kick in, and his wealthy daughters will likely marry even richer men, guaranteeing his genes will continue to be passed down through higher social circles long after his death. And if you're wondering why poor Asian women frequently choose poor Asian men, the answer ought to be clear by this point. If she isn't wealthy, she might still see the unfortunate Caucasian dude. She could, however, also see, intentionally or unintentionally, that her children may have access to new social networks and chances since she had children with him and they shared their DNA. And that's exactly how I see it. For example, I am aware of several Eastern European men who have wed Filipino women. And these women typically find better careers, are welcomed in their communities, and their social position increases relative to women who wed men from their respective Asian origins. All in all, mixed-race children are likely to have a better future, and Asian women know this. This is why they prioritize being with white men from Western countries so they can climb the social ladder for themselves and the generations after. Thanks for tuning in.